guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Hidden Spring Ranch YouTube channel. My name's Nick Novak. For today's video, I thought we would talk about bottle calves, kind of how I do it, kind of some things that I do for their health and when I wean, feed and all that. So to start things off, these two calves right here, they're both 65 days old and they're on 1 bottle a day. They've been getting 1 bottle a day for the last 4 days. And so tomorrow will be their very last day with the bottle, and then they'll be officially weaned off. So we'll feed this bull and this heifer first, and then we will take you guys over here to the smaller ones. So these older calves, they make pretty light work of these bottles. Like I said, they both are about 65 days old. I got them probably 3 weeks ago from a guy I built fence for, probably 2 years ago. They're really nice calves. That heifer, number 32, she was a twin, and the other bull calf was just off an old cull cow that wasn't milking very good, so he ended up just making her a bottle calf, and he had figured out that I was looking for some, and so he went ahead and sold them to me. So what we'll do next is we'll move these bottle calves outside, and then I will show you guys them, kind of tell you which one's what, where I got them from, and after that kind of show you guys how I incorporate grain, alfalfa, kind of the medicine I give them when I first get them, you know, and kind of go from there. So first we'll bring this number 27, this little bull, outside. So I got all these calves outside. This little heifer right here, she was a twin. I got her the same time I got this bull from the same place. Probably an hour from our house. He runs some registered stock, really nice calves and cows. And this little one was a twin. The big one's mom prolapsed. And so I just happened to come across it on one of our websites we find bottle calves on, called Next Tech here in Kansas, and picked them up for a decent price, I thought, and so far they've both done good. I picked up this little heifer right here 2 hours away from a guy who buys a bunch of older cows, some cull cows, and puts a group together, and then once they have their calf, leaves them on for 2 or 3 days, pulls the calf off, sells it, and then takes the cow to a feed yard, is what he said he does. So I will tell you guys kind of my grain situation with them in a second. I'll show you guys these wean calves, soon to be wean calves tomorrow. So I filled their grain up this morning. They've pretty well cleaned it up. I also give them about a flake of alfalfa. As you can see, he's sucking on her leg, which I'm not a fan of them sucking on each other, but he gets over it pretty quick, and it lasts maybe 2 or 3 minutes after I feed that bottle. And then I also give him free choice brome hay. And so that's kind of what I do for these calves, is I try to give them a flake of alfalfa every day. And they usually chew it up pretty good. And then I also give them about 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds of grain each per day, since that alfalfa is a lot of protein for them too, you know, and then also their water. But I built this pen kind of, the barn really acts as a windbreak for these calves here, but I also built this little windbreak. So this is facing the north going south, which we have a lot of north wind here in Kansas, and then that's west facing east facing west. And so I did that just so if they want to lay behind it and it's super windy, they don't have to go in their hut when it's nice out And I've actually been seeing them lay around there, so I'm glad they're utilizing that. But for them, they have a good sized pen here so they can move their legs, run around. And my thought is once we start getting some grass growing, we'll actually turn to all these bottle calves, because they should be weaned by then, all of them, where my first calf heifers are at, because those will go out to the big pasture with those black cows that we have. So that's kind of the thought there. Yeah, so I will give you guys a little rundown of what I do when I first pick up the calves. So the very first thing I do is, when I go look at them, I always look to see, are they teary-eyed? Are they kind of having some like boogers on their eyes? If they have that, it doesn't concern me a lot because I can clean that up pretty quick. But what does concern me is coughing and ears down. I don't like that. So if I see that, I more than likely probably won't buy the calf unless it's super cheap and I think I can get it to live. But what I do is, let me grab it here. I use this Jumpstart Plus. You can just get it at your local hardware store, Tractor Supply, whatever. And basically it just provides some vitamins and minerals for the calves. They say you should do it around birth, but it's so cheap, it's less than $1 per calf. And so I just go ahead and give it to them. You know, I don't know if it helps a lot. I'm sure it does. And so I give that to all the calves when they first get here. And I also give them 1 ml of Draxxin. If you don't know what Draxxin is, look it up. It's a really good medicine for cattle. It's probably $2 a dose at that 1 ml, which, you know, little things like that add up. But for me, is if I can get these calves as healthy as possible, then that's my main priority. Because if you can get them up to weaning time and they are still alive, then there's a pretty good chance that they're going to survive before you sell them. So I try to do as much as I can when they're little. One thing I was going to tell you guys about is scours. And scours is tough because one calf, they can be the exact same size, you can feed them the same thing, but one will get scours and one won't. And basically when they start to get scours, you know they're getting extremely dehydrated. And if you catch it early enough, you should be able to clear it up within a day or a day or two. And what scours is, it's really yellowy poop and it stinks terrible. Oh my gosh, it stinks. But it's really important that there's new studies that come out that say you shouldn't give them milk, that you should give them milk, sorry. You should give them milk while they're trying to clear up their scours. But for me, I usually try to do 2 feedings of just electrolytes. And I can show you that at the end of the video when I go inside, what packet I use. I just go to the local hardware store, Tractor Supply, and grab it from there. And I give them 2 or 3 scoops of those electrolytes and just a normal bottle. And that usually clears them up within 24 hours. This calf right here was starting to get it. I didn't give her milk yesterday morning or night. Last night I gave her just a little bit of milk with her electrolytes because I seen a decently hard poop. And so today I gave her a full bottle, so we'll see how she reacts to it. But her ears are perky. She was running around when I got her out, so I don't think it's going to be an issue going forward. But really, that's the big things that we struggle with bottle calves, is scours and when to wean them, when to get them off the bottle, how do you give them grain. And so for these 2 calves right here, they're about 10 days old, and this one's, I would say, close to 12. And what I do for them is I try to give them grain at about 15 days old. And so what I'll do to do that is when I'm giving them their bottle, once their bottle's completely done, I'll open up their mouth with my hand and just put a little handful of that grain in there, because they're not going to like the taste. They've never had that texture before. And so I put it in their mouth, usually 3 or 4 days, morning and night I do that, and they start to take to it a little bit. And I don't give them a lot, but once they start taking it, you know, the faster they're on grain, the better. And the faster they're eating any kind of hay is even better too. And so that's kind of what I do with my bottle calves, is I try to incorporate grain about 15 days. So probably at the end of this week, I will be getting to that. You see those two wean calves tomorrow, they're in there just chewing on some brome hay, which I love to see. I love that, because I don't know if you can see her. That's that heifer on the right and the bulls on the left. But they're just munching on it, and I like that. I like to be able to see them eat, which makes me feel good about weaning them tomorrow. Is I know they're eating. I know they're not afraid to get in there and work for it. Oh, my neck's kind of hurting. But yeah, so that's kind of what I do with bottle calves. I guess if you guys have any questions for me, let me know. I'm trying to think kind of the topics I wanted to get through. Oh, I guess vaccinations. Vaccines for bottle calves, I don't know what I like to do best. You know, with our cows and calves, we work them at 6 or 8 weeks. We don't give them any shots at birth. We just give them an ear tag, look at their gender, and then we do all the vaccinations at 6 or 8 weeks, like I said. But for bottle calves, I haven't really decided what I'm going to do. I need to give them vaccines. I'm going to probably give them a 7-way and maybe a black leg, but I'm probably just going to vaccinate them the same way I vaccinated my calves on the cow. I think that's what I'm going to do, is just vaccinate the same way I vaccinated the cows, and I'm going to try to probably hit those calves sometime this week, because they're getting harder to catch. They're just getting big. I bet they're 40 pounds, maybe, probably 140 pounds, which is good size. They're growing. Their coats are still slicked off, and so I know they're healthy. They're having really hard, not super hard poop, but some softish hard poop, which I like to see also. So with that being said, if you guys have any questions on the bottle calf ranch, and let me know. I'm gonna try to get, like, I have 5 right now. I'm gonna try to probably get 10 more and put a little herd together. So the hard thing is you have to be able to find them on Next Text. So I have to be on my phone a lot, which I don't like doing. But I'll just keep checking, and whenever I see them, I'll buy them up. So with that being said, guys, appreciate you watching. Let me know if you have any questions on the bottle calf deal. I can do another video on it, kind of with the questions you have, if you have any. But with that being said, appreciate you guys liking, subscribe. Let me know if there's something you do that might benefit my ranch on how I do the bottle calves, and I'd be open to hearing it. So appreciate it, guys. Talk to you in the next one.